Hey everyone, welcome to the Self-Awareness Journey podcast. I'm Melissa Albers.
And I'm JJ Parker. This podcast is for seekers of happiness, joy, and a centered approach to success in life. Seekers of their true, authentic selves.
Get ready for some real talk on everything from anxiety, emotions, and habits to love, compassion, and forgiveness. We know you'll be challenged and enlightened by this conversation, and we're so glad you're here. Let's dive in.
All right, Melissa, springtime is here, finally.
Yay!
And I'm going to do some spring cleaning.
Me too. I always do.
But I'm going to do it of my mind.
Oh, God. Here we go.
My closet's already super clean.
Same. Is it color-coded? Mine's color-coded. Freak. Gosh,
Well,
I'm a freak.
I like springtime, right? It's
Uh-huh.
like, and especially everyone knows, like, we're in Minnesota, so, right, like, we endured the winter
Yeah, and we
and
did endure. Yeah.
all of the sloppy, dirty messiness of spring. I mean, everything here for like a month is just mud,
Yeah, and
right?
gray. The whole landscape is gray. Everything's gray.
And so now it's like warming up and things are dried up and
The
right,
buds
and
are
spring's
out
coming.
and the
It's great.
flowers and the birds.
And we're cleaning everything up. We're gonna
We're-
clean the yard up
Yep.
and we're gonna and everyone, is gonna put all their winter stuff away and flip it with their summer stuff. So a
Well,
little
you're
spring
I
cleaning.
think you sound a little aspirational here, but okay.
What?
That's what we aspire to do. Switch
Right.
out our winter stuff and put our summer stuff out.
Right. So I like spring cleaning personally.
Mm-hmm.
Like I actually really like kind of like cleaning my house,
I do too.
putting stuff away,
Mhm.
getting rid of stuff we're not going to use anymore.
Mhm.
Right. I always it's always like a couple of weeks of like donating stuff.
Do you drive your spouse crazy at this stage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I
that
do
would
too.
be
That's
that would
why I
be a
asked.
yes.
Yeah. 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 Mitch is very clean, but he does not like throwing stuff out. I love throwing stuff out.
For a second, I was going to try to figure out how to answer that in case she's listening to push my own agenda through.
Oh, don't
No, she likes
bother.
it after, but she does not
Yes.
like the act of going through all of the stuff. Right?
Right. Exactly. I think that can be said for a lot of things.
So this idea that we're kind of creating a fresh start, we're getting rid of things that we don't need or use anymore in our house, in our garage, in our shed, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And when I was thinking about that, I was like, we should apply spring cleaning to ourselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
How do I apply some of the things I do in the spring to like my body, my mind, and myself, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about how to spring
Oh, I
clean
like
yourself.
that. I like that. And you don't mean like Q-tips and cleaning
Yeah,
out your
right.
nostrils.
should-
You don't mean anything like that.
If you haven't showered all winter, go do that first.
You don't
No,
mean
not
yeah,
like
okay,
that.
got it.
I was thinking more like your thought patterns, your habits,
Oh, got
you know,
it.
the way your emotions,
Yeah,
maybe
I
some
love it.
nutrition and physical stuff.
Oh, this is a great idea. You know what it kind of is too? It's
Hmm.
nearly, not quite, but close enough to like 6 months from New Year's resolutions. It's like in the middle
Oh,
and dead of winter, we do this kind of same mental and emotional inventory, sort
yeah,
of. We don't really apply it in the same way in terms of cleaning, but we do
yeah,
usually take that time to try and adjust what we're working on.
totally. Raise your hand if you're still going to the gym now versus when you said you were going to go to the gym in January.
I think
Still
they
doing
said
it? No.
January 3rd is the busiest gym day in the entire year. And
It's
I think
ridiculous.
it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. It's
Exactly.
like the first 3 weeks in January at Lifetime Fitness is like
Right.
the parking lot's full. And then
Right.
week 4, I'm like, well, back to parking wherever.
I really like this idea though, because, well, for a couple of reasons. One, this isn't a popular idea at all. Like, this is a new idea. I've never heard of this before. Um,
Oh, self-awareness journey setting trends.
Boom. The other reason I really like it is because the weather is much more conducive to
Hmm.
changing things,
Yeah.
because it's in alignment with what's happening in nature. Like,
Oh, yeah.
everything is in regrowth. Everything
Yep.
is in, all the little tree buds are coming out,
Yep.
it's all that, like, I love that lime green
Yep.
color. Everything is emerging new.
Yep. Okay. So let's get down to some tactical things.
Oh,
You know
okay.
me.
I feel
Like,
like you got a
you're on
list.
board. You're on board with
Yeah,
spring cleaning
I'm on board. I love it. Let's
of
do it.
yourself.
Do I
So
need a sheet of paper? I feel like I need to write this down.
I'm going to make you a checklist, and then you can report back next week if you did it all.
Oh, no, I'm scared. Okay.
Okay, so there's a couple things like that affect me, and
Mhm.
so we'll just talk about the things that maybe
Okay.
like I was gonna do.
Okay.
So like I was talking about cleaning the house, right?
Mhm.
So like for me, my physical space
Mhm.
has an effect on my mental state,
Oh, of course it does.
right?
Yes.
And this might be, I think people probably vary the degree that it affects them,
Mm.
but like I really have a problem if my desk is too messy,
I know you do.
right?
Same here. I'm the same
Or like
way.
even like
A pile of
like
something near you. Oh.
yeah, my kids had a sleepover last night,
Oh,
and
God.
actually the kids are still sleeping upstairs, and they left all sorts of like Doritos bags and
Wrappers. Yeah.
like stuff all over my office because it's
Empty
also
liter
our
bottles.
basement. Yeah. Did you say empty beer bottles?
Liter. No,
Oh,
empty liter bottles. No, my son used to have a particular sleepover plan in which all the boys came over. Each kid had a liter of
yeah,
Mountain Dew, and each kid had their own bag of
yeah.
Doritos. Ugh.
So physical space. So I
Yep.
kind of start with like, okay, what's my physical space? Like, is my physical space what I want it to be? Right.
Mhm. Right.
And this is just kind of even beyond the clutter stuff. It's just like,
Mhm.
okay, like, are things like in my bedroom set up to
Yeah.
be in a relaxing way
Mhm.
when I go to bed? Is my office set up in like an effective way for me to do my best work?
Right.
Is my kitchen set up for me to like want to cook healthy? Right.
Mhm. Right.
So I just like think about my physical space. Like, is my physical space what I want? And is it helping me get to where I
Right.
want to be? Because
Mhm.
sometimes it's like, like you come in, you drop stuff, it sits there for a long time, or things get put just down in certain ways,
Yep.
and maybe you don't think about them. So maybe just take the opportunity to like really think about like if your physical space is like inspiring you or not.
Right. And
Right?
I'll tell you that there is a direct correlation between how your mind feels and what your physical space looks
Mhm.
like. Whether you admit it consciously or not, it's a
Yeah.
thing. That's a thing.
So the physical space, and then also I like messing around with my diet. So
Yeah, I know you do.
I am currently on like a pretty close to no sugar
Yeah.
diet for the past couple weeks.
Yeah. Yep. I'm not in alignment with you on this. This
No,
one is
I
one
know
I
it.
will never jump on with you.
As crazy as it sounds, it makes me so much
Oh,
happier.
I know. Yeah. It is.
Like
Yeah.
it's I'm on like week 3, but the first 2 weeks I had a mild headache, and I
Yeah.
was like kind of grumpy.
Yeah.
And then last week I was
Mhm.
like super happy all of a
Yeah.
sudden, and I'm
I
like,
know.
oh wait, that's the point,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Yeah. That's so
So
awesome.
I'm not advocating that everyone go on a no sugar diet, but
Yeah.
just like I think the things we eat
Mm-hmm.
affect how our brain works,
Or
right?
how
And
much,
how we
or how
feel.
much we eat, even.
Yeah, how much
Mhm.
we eat, what we eat,
Yep.
like,
And
and just
when.
kind of maybe like
When.
examine like, is this working for
Yeah.
me? Is it serving my best interest?
Yeah. You
Um,
know, several months ago, just to plus one that, several months ago, I started following this person on Instagram named College Nutritionist. And she's not in college, but
Mm.
she's got millions of followers. And she has the most common way of thinking about food. I think so many times we get in these headspace games with ourselves where we think if we're gonna worry about food, we're gonna lose 20 pounds or lose 10
hmm
pounds or whatever. And everything becomes so over the top in a certain direction that we then
Yeah.
give up. And if anyone's interested in just thinking about like how to shift up how they're eating, have a regular, more normalized approach to food, that's like one really good place
Mm.
because she teaches people. And to your point, it's like it feels really good when you pay attention.
hmm
And it feels really, really good. And what doesn't feel good is the idea that we failed after 3 days because we can't do something.
Yeah.
But finding our sweet spot in terms of what we're comfortable with and how to think about our interaction with food, I think is super healthy. So it's a
Yeah.
great time with spring coming on. That is a really, really good focus. I like that idea of yours.
Yeah. And my observation with people and diets and food and all of
Mm-hmm.
that stuff, that is like monster
Yeah.
self-judgment territory,
Oh, it
right?
is.
So
Yeah, it
like
just brings you
be a
down.
little, be a little
Mm-hmm.
easy on yourself when
Yeah,
you start
exactly.
thinking about food because you can so easily just get into like
Yeah.
a judgment spiral with it.
Yeah. But finding something, and which is what exactly where you are, is finding something that
hmm
feels really good to you. And I think in the springtime, it's such a great time,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh, and then physical fitness, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not saying like everyone's got to go be like
Yeah.
super
Iron Man.
ripped bodybuilder, marathon runner, all that stuff, but there definitely is a correlation between just moving your body a
Mm-hmm.
bit and
Yeah.
your mental well-being.
Totally. Even if it's walking around the dang block with the dog or the
Yep.
cat or whatever. Yeah.
And for us Minnesotans, uh, we have been kind of cooped up
Mm-hmm.
inside during winter. So it's a great opportunity to get out, say hi to your neighbors,
Yeah.
walk around the block, go explore parks, go kind of do these things maybe
Yeah.
outside in nature, get moving.
Take deep
Um,
breaths of fresh air.
hmm
Yeah, for sure. I
And
love
that
that.
kind of like mind body, there's definitely a mind body connection there.
Yeah.
And as you move your body and you kind of think about your movement,
Right. That
right,
is a
it's
form of
very
meditation, actually.
healthy.
I was just talking with one of my clients yesterday, and she has kind of been in this, like trying to organize herself to care for herself a little more, like
Mm,
because she really works a lot, and
hmm
she's a parent with 2 kids, um, and we were talking about what are some different ideas, and I had suggested, I said, well, I hate to use the word meditation because so many
hmm
people have weird connotations about it, but have you ever thought about that? She's like, I can't, my mind's too busy. And so to your point, like the mind-body connection is merely being able to be in the moment in your body.
hmm
So like your idea of going outside, walking meditation is one of the greatest forms of meditation because it doesn't feel like you're meditating. Your mind can focus on
Yeah.
the single thing
Yeah.
of just walking slowly, taking in
Ooh.
air, being aware of your breath, looking
Yeah.
around, enjoying the moment. That is a beautiful way of resetting yourself.
Totally. I would challenge everybody to go for a 15-minute walk
Yeah.
by themselves
Uh-huh.
without their headphones on
Without
or
their phone.
without their phone. Yeah, leave your
Uh-huh.
phone
Leave
at
your
you're
phone at
not going to
home.
get, like kidnapped and murdered if you don't bring your phone,
Right.
trust me. Uh but like just walk in silence by
Yes.
yourself
And
for
just be in the moment.
yeah.
Notice your breathing in,
Yeah.
breathing out, walking. How fast do I walk versus how fast do I
Yeah.
breathe? Like just noticing everything going on inside of your body.
Yep.
So
So
that's a
working on
great
that.
call out. Yep.
All right. So
What else
those
have you
ones are
got?
those ones are the easy ones.
Oh, wait. There's more. I feel like we're in a Ronco commercial now.
The harder ones maybe or the ones that are now like really turning inside
Mm-hmm.
are thinking about what you're thinking about,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
So like doing spring cleaning on your own thoughts, right?
Mm,
Like to me it's like, do I spend a lot of time thinking about the future? trying to
Mm,
guess what's going to happen in the future? Or
yeah.
do I spend a lot of time reminiscing or going over events of the past,
Hmm. Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And are those two are those things like serving me? Like
Yeah.
if I'm ruminating on something I did a month ago, a year ago,
Yeah.
uh, 10
Yeah.
years ago,
Spring cleaning. Get it out of
maybe
there.
maybe
Yep.
it's time to go donate that recurring thought to Goodwill.
Oh, hey, I have a perfect example of me doing this yesterday. Or 2 days ago. So my best friend lives in the UK, or one of my
Hmm.
best friends lives in the UK. And finally, we made trip arrangements to go back. Okay.
Hmm.
And the flights are crazy expensive right now because of
Yeah,
gas prices, right?
totally. Yep.
So we made these arrangements, and because there's a 6 hour time difference, I was making them in the evening, so I knew she's already sleeping, and so I sent her a WhatsApp message and just told her, "Hey, these are the dates. We're ready to roll." And as in all airlines, you have 24 hours to cancel a flight
Yeah.
without having it get charged to you, right? So I thought, well, if these dates aren't going to work for her, despite the fact that we talked about them, she's like me, not great with details. So we have 24 hours. All right. But here's the part. I went to bed thinking, oh my goodness, what if something's not going to work?
Mm,
Okay. For no reason. For no reason. It
yeah.
was a habit.
Yep.
That was a habitual thinking. And then in the middle of the night, I woke up and I had this thought that she said, nope, it's not going to work at all. That date, I screwed up the date, or you screwed up the date, whatever. And in that moment, I thought to myself, why am I thinking like that?
Hmm.
Like, I actually caught myself. I think it's hard to catch yourself when you're doing these things.
Mm,
And so then the next morning I wake up, and now she has responded because she's been up for 6 hours. And she is like all over, all caps, so excited, like she can't wait. And I was like, well, of course that's what she was going to say. But oh, wait,
mm,
I remember that I went back to this sort of, grandiose, awful thought pattern.
hmm.
And why did I do that? And I realized it's a
Right.
habit. That is
Yeah.
simply a habit.
Yeah.
And so I decided, wow, that's so awesome that I noticed it. That was so
Yeah. That
awesome
is
that I
awesome.
noticed that. And
Yep.
and so I'm gonna really focus on that now.
Yeah. So just like these thoughts that we have, just like we're cleaning our house, like when we're doing spring cleaning of our house,
Yep.
we're not like trying to bring more things into our house, right?
Right.
What we're doing is we're taking the things that are in our house and we're
Out.
getting rid of them,
Yes.
right?
Make space for
Out,
something different.
making space for
Making
something different. That's
space.
a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah.
So when we're doing kind of spring cleaning of our minds,
Yes.
don't
Yeah.
think of it like we're attempting to make new habits or
Right.
attempting to do new things.
Yeah.
Think of it as like we're taking the things that are in there
Yeah.
and pushing them out.
Yep. Yep.
And, new things might come in over
Well, they
the
will
course
come
of the
in.
year.
No, they
But
will come in.
the idea
That's
is like we're making space for the new things, right?
yes. Right.
And the
Exactly.
different things and the different experiences. So I like that. I like how you phrase that.
Well, and it makes you excited. It gives you hope.
Hmm.
And it's just like what you were saying when I said, does Amber like this time of the year with you? And what you said is, and I loved it, and I actually wrote it down because this is exactly what we do with our thoughts too, with all of these things, is you said, well, she doesn't like the going through things part, but she really likes the after,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
This
Yep.
is human nature as it relates to working on our own emotions as well. We really resist going
Yeah.
through it because
Yep.
we think, ugh, we set ourselves up. Oh, it's going to be awful. It's not going to
Hmm.
feel good. I don't want to deal with this. I'm going to be uncomfortable. I won't be able to sleep. I'm going to have bad ideas, bad thoughts. I'm going to cry, whatever.
Hmm.
We don't like the idea of going through things. But afterwards, we're like, oh my gosh, there's so much more space now. I feel so much better.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love
Huh.
this. The spring cleaning idea is such a great idea for our thoughts.
So I had this whole list.
Yeah.
Let's
Oh,
see.
sorry.
I always have
Okay.
a list.
I know. I love it. What else have you got?
Well, so I was just kind of to circle back with like the just like high level things we can think about
Yeah.
in our self spring cleaning:
Yeah.
eating, exercising, our physical environment, work. Like we didn't touch
Mm,
on work. Like there could be some things like how we engage in work, what the boundaries of our work are,
mm,
right?
mm-hmm.
What are boundaries of like kind of like our home or personal life and work are.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe maybe do some thinking about that.
That's a really good one.
Sleep,
Mhm.
like our sleep habits, right? Because
Mhm.
again, that's another huge driver of our mental wellness,
Of everything.
right?
Yeah.
Everyone thinks like there's some like crazy societal hero thing happening where like if you only sleep 5 hours a night, you're amazing.
That I
To
am
me, I'm like,
so out.
nope.
I
I'm
am
like
so
8 to 10 hours a night,
Exactly.
sleeping like a baby. It's like the only way I can be effective. Um,
By the way, before you move past that sleep
yeah.
thing, I read a statistic once, and I've read it several times since, that says if you actually want to get more sleep, do not sleep in the morning. Go to bed earlier. That your
Mm,
body chemistry and your body clock is set to wake up at the same time in the mornings.
hmm,
And if you want more sleep, to go to bed earlier, not try to sleep later.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
word.
Um, and then like kind of like a mindfulness
Mm,
practice. That was
mhm.
one of the other things. Like
Yeah.
that could be meditation. That could be your faith practice,
Mhm.
praying, like whatever it
Right.
is that kind of gets you like
Into your
some
centered
spirit.
space.
Yeah, like some
Mhm.
spiritual juices, right?
Mhm.
That
That's really
um,
good.
and then like the social stuff, right? Family, friends, that kind of stuff.
Well,
Um,
relationships.
yeah, relationships. Frankly, there could be some people in your life
That's time to
that
go.
you need to spring clean out of your
Yep. That's
life,
so
or at
true.
least
Yep.
distance from,
Time to go.
right? And there's
Mhm.
maybe some that you need to pull in a little bit, right?
Mhm.
So just maybe evaluate it.
Yeah, because again, you're looking to create cleanliness, openness, and space.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. Yep. So there. That was my list.
I
Um,
really like that.
I think like cleaning your mind will make you, healthier and happier.
Yeah,
And it's not something we typically think about when we think about spring cleaning.
I think too, the way that you can approach this conversation today for every listener is, um, I think that it is about the exploration. You know, it's the option of, do you want to? What options are available for you? A more expansive
Hmm.
approach to all of these topics,
Yeah.
rather than feeling like, oh, now I got to do this. Like, oh, yeah, I thought it, so I have to do it. No, you don't have to. I think, but like, even as you talked about like your spiritual, your spiritual juices,
Hmm.
you said, I like that. And even if it means just exploring other options for yourself,
Mm.
that is exploring and being expansive, right?
Yep.
Just without
Yep.
judgment, without forcing yourself into a box and stuffing yourself under the bed till next time you decide to
Yep.
pull it out. Just explore like what's available to you. What are some
Right.
things you could be thinking or feeling that you haven't yet?
Yep. All right. I'm gonna bust out my mental broom and dustpan and see what we can clean up in there.
I hope I'm not in the dustpan afterwards. Oh, I love it. Spring cleaning, let's do it.
Did you enjoy this episode? Please go to your favorite podcast platform to subscribe, rate, and leave a review so others can discover it as well. Growing self-awareness is a lifelong journey, and it's better when we're all in it together. Please think of someone you know who could benefit from hearing today's conversation and share this episode with them.
We can't thank you enough for listening. Until next time, happy exploring.